Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Sam from Historic Travels and welcome to another video. Alright guys, so for today's video, I have a bit of a different kind of topic that we're going to be discussing today. This is a topic that I never really considered making a video about, but so many of you in the comments section have asked me this question that I thought, okay, we need to address it in an official Historic Travels video. The question that many of you have asked is, what if the RMS Titanic had headlights on it like a car does? Would this have helped the Titanic's crew spot the iceberg in time? And on top of that, why don't ships have headlights or something like it on board? So that's the question that we're going to be answering in today's video. Oh, and before we start the video, I want to let you all know that I did officially launch a second YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is called Historic Hangouts, and it's going to be a YouTube channel where I upload small-scale content that don't really belong on the Historic Travels YouTube channel. So things like gaming videos or just small little projects that I'm working on, stuff like that. Stuff that I think all of you would be interested in, it'll go to that channel. If you would like to subscribe to that channel, I will include a link to that channel in the description below. Alright guys, well hey, with the intro out of the way, let's now get into today's video. Well, to be blunt, no. Having headlights mounted to the front of the Titanic's hull like you see in this picture is a terrible idea, and it would not have helped the Titanic's crew spot the iceberg sooner. In fact, it probably would have reduced their visibility so much that they wouldn't have seen the iceberg until they were literally right up on it. But why is this? Well, I'll explain. Alright, so before I answer that question, let's first discuss exactly what headlights are and what are they used for. Well, as I'm sure most of you know, headlights are the giant lights that are mounted to the front of cars, and they're used to illuminate the road directly in front of the car. And honestly, you have to have these. Like, headlights are essential for nighttime driving because headlights light up the space directly in front of the vehicle while you're driving and allows you to see the road and any hazards that may be in front of you while you're driving at night. If you didn't have headlights on a car at night, you would probably crash in 10 seconds. Anyway, now let's discuss exactly what headlights are and how do they work. Well, essentially headlights emit light, and the light particles go from the light source, the headlights, hit whatever's directly in front of your car, bounce that light back at you so you can see it with your eyes, and then your brain deciphers it and goes, okay, there's something right there, I need to be careful. Now, this works great with the limited amount of space directly in front of a car that headlights illuminate. However, the same can't be said for ships. Well, the biggest issue with using something like headlights on a ship at night would be the huge amount of space that these lights would be required to illuminate in front of a vessel. Because, think about it, we're not just talking about a small little bit of space in front of a ship like you would a car. Because headlights in front of a car only need to illuminate a small little bit of the road ahead of you for you to be able to see what's going on. However, the same can't be said for ships. Those sailing vessels need to be able to see for miles around in all directions. And just think about how many lights you would need on board a ship to be able to pull this off. And you also have to think about how powerful of lights you would need, because light particles lose strength the further they travel from the light source. So in order for you to have lights on board a ship that would be powerful enough for you to light up a huge amount of space all around a ship, to light it up enough for those operating a ship to be able to see everything that's going on, well, honestly, I can't even imagine how powerful of a light source you would need for this. And honestly, if there was anybody on the other end of the light, like on another ship and they saw your ship coming and they got hit by that light, it would probably temporarily blind them. I mean, we're talking about an extremely, extremely powerful source of light here. So, when I was filming that last bit, I got this mental image in my head. Let's imagine for a moment that the Olympic and the Mauritania all had these giant headlight things mounted all around the ship to light up all the space around the ship. And then let's imagine that both of these vessels with both of this type of weird light arrangement were approaching each other. I just got this mental image of the crew on both of these ships yelling at each other because both ships are being blinded by the other's light. The crew going, turn off your lights, we can't see. And then the other ship going, you turn off your lights, we can't see. And then the ships just hit each other or something because they're yelling at each other. Anyway, it's silly. It made me laugh. But anyway, moving on. Now, that also brings up my next point, if I can stop laughing. You see, even without giant sources of light, even at night, you see, our eyes adjust to the darkness pretty well, and we can usually see enough to get a general idea of what's going on all around us. And if we had a giant source of light, like headlights mounted to the front of a ship, well, our eyes would be adjusted to that light source, and that would basically blind us from seeing anything that's in the darkness that is surrounding the space that isn't lit up by those front headlights. So, as you can see, having headlights mounted to something in front of a ship it really isn't practical, and it does more harm than good, because you really need to be able to see the space all around you in order for you to be able to make good judgments on what to do with things you encounter at sea. And you see, it's for this very reason that bridge crews, even on ships that sail the oceans today, do everything they can to keep their bridge area as dark as possible. That way they can see all the space surrounding their vessel at night. Now, this isn't to say that ships do not use lights at all to help them navigate the oceans at night. In fact, ships have found a very clever way to use lights to help them navigate the oceans at night. And it's a way that will easily allow other vessels on the seas to easily keep track of each other. That way collisions do not accidentally happen. You see, the trick to using light to navigate the oceans at night isn't to have a bunch of really strong headlight things mounted to one ship to light up all the area around the ship. The trick is to have a bunch of smaller lights on the sides of ships, mounted to the vessel's mast and all that. That way your ship is easily visible to other ships that are sailing the seas at night. And by having your lights arranged in a certain way, this little bit of light can easily tell other ships everything they need to know about where your ship is, which direction it's going, which direction it's facing, and anything you need to know about a ship can be easily ID'd using these lights. And in case you didn't know it, these lights are called navigation lights. Navigation lights are lights that are arranged on a vessel in such a way that it easily conveys enough information to other ships as to what your ship is currently doing. These lights include masthead lights and side lights. Masthead lights are lights that are arranged on a vessel's mast that help other ships determine which direction a vessel is going. And the side lights are two different colored lights. You have a red light on the port and a green light on the starboard. And other ships, all they have to do is look at these side lights, and based on the color of the light, they can easily tell which side of a ship they are looking at. So yeah, now all of you know the basics as to what navigation lights are and how they're used and how they're very useful in helping other ships, avoid collisions at sea and everything. And now all of you understand why having something like headlights mounted to a ship really would not help those on board the Titanic on the night she sank, or any ship at sea for that matter. Because to have lights that are strong enough to illuminate enough space in front of you to where you could see so far away that, you could see the iceberg in time. It's not practical. And what if that berg is a little bit to your side or something like that's not directly in the beam of light? By having that beam of light, you're blind to everything else that's going on around you, and you're effectively blind to everything that's beyond what the beam of light can illuminate. So, there's really no practical reason as to why to have something like headlights mounted to a ship that's sailing the seas at night. It's just no reason whatsoever. But anyway, guys, hey, thank you. Oh, wait, I just thought. Okay, you guys know the cold water mirage thing? The way that mirage was distorting light particles and stuff, I think that would have made the visibility on Titanic even worse than what it would normally be, because the way the mirage changes lights and creates that optical illusion, I think it would have made things even worse. Holy cow, I just now thought of that. Anyway, if you would like to learn more about the cold water mirage, I will include a link to that video in the description below. There's a lot to that, and I'm not going to explain it in this video. Anyway, guys, hey, hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, be sure you leave this video a like. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps out a lot. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.